After invasion of Tibet by China, many people became refugees. Some of them migrated to India and settled in 5 places around the country. Bylukupe is one of the biggest settlements in Karnataka state. In this settlement, the ancient art form Thangka is being revived. By the grace of the Government of India and the Guru Dalai Lama, Tibetan people are carrying their traditional culture, art, lifestyle in India. Tibetan art is one of the most important art styles which they carried. This shows prayer, culture, style, art and everything of Tibet. A Thangka is a cloth painting of religious significance which originated in Tibet. Often, a particular Buddha or Bodhisattva is depicted. At other times, it may be the Buddhist wheel of life or scenes from the Buddha's life or a mandala.
Thangka is a traditional pictures. It was first started in India at the time of Gautam Buddhas, because at the time of the Buddhas from Sri Lanka, there's one princess. She wanted to see the figures of the Buddhas. So from then it started Buddhas. One painter, they make the depict of the Buddhas, and he sent this painting to Sri Lanka. From then on, it started the traditions of Thangkas. So actually, Thangka is a symbolize, which is symbolize the representative. It's also a representative of the forms of the Buddhas, and also it shows the life story of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and different masters. And also Thangka, there are different Thangkas based on prayer and based on different teaching traditions.
Tibetan culture deeply imbues with Vajrayana Buddhism. It highlights Tibetan life and culture, tradition and art. Tibetan art particularly developed over several centuries by the influence of religious aspects. The word Thangka means that which can be rolled up. As it was a scroll in form, it could be easily carried by monks and used as a teaching tool. They were focused for devotional practice of meditation or in people's home to ward off misfortune.
Actually, in every Buddhist house, we are keeping the statues of the Buddhas and also the paintings of the Buddhas. And also because these statues and these paintings, they are represented, represent the the forms of the Buddhas, and also it is also shows the compassion activity of Buddhas. So through Thangkas and through paintings, so we are remembering our the advice of our precious master, and also this is also a meditational objects. With the help of Thangkas, we are doing meditations, we are offering to the Buddha and all the Bodhisattvas. So Thangka is very important in Tibetan tradition, particularly to remember the Buddhas and his activity and also his teachings.
Tibetan Thangka art is incredibly rich, comprising sophisticated and complex religious symbolism. Tibetan legends believe 2 such words created during the Buddhism era, namely Topachulema and Hadzama. Topachulema means the image of sage taken from a reflection in the water. Hadzama says reflection of emitted light rays from the Buddha by the prayer of King Singla. From the chronicle view of Thangka, they were established during the Songstem Gampo's regime in the 7th century. King Trisong Detsen built Samye, the first monastery in Tibet under the guidance of Shantarakshita and Padmasambhava. The Ha form, or Central Asia Northwest China painting, is an art form of the 9th and 10th century. Vajrapaudi's painting style points out the Indian context. In the 15th century, Mentupa Mente Dandup developed Menri School of Art. By the influence of Menri style in the 17th century, Kendri, Karmagandhi, Juri and Menke were developed. The progress of Thangka paintings is quite slow and the path often difficult and tedious, so that the artist must be experts in the Thangka art. Expert artists of Thangka are known as Master of Thangka Paint or Ochamuye. Thangka art has its own rule because each Thangka is semi-human figure. These deeply display different expressions of human forms. Commonly, Thangkas are painted on canvas or Banaras cotton cloths. Defined size of cotton slice fixed into the frame, and then it is polished by a proportionate mixture of chalk and glue. After complete drying of cloth, it rubs until the surface gets smooth and elasticity. Preparation of canvas is chakra. The ancient Tibetan Thangka art is having a rule to draw on canvas. In a painting, every single detail is vitally important. So, the artist goes through the following steps: sketching, kari, coloring, soka, detailing, shipcha, outlining, che, dry shading, kandang, gold burning, Z. Overall sketch based on total size of the Thangka. Initially, artists must know the placement, proportion and number of figures. Sketching is the key idea in the Thangka art. In Thangka, the dominant figure invariably is larger in size and the attendant figure is half of the larger image. Reference Bhama line drawn exact to the center of canvas and then drawn perpendicular to it. In Thangka, every picture having chronicle order like tree, sky, mountain, rocks, plants, water and animals. In Thangka art, all image measurements are estimated from the size of their face by the units chateau, chachan and so on. Each face measurement divided into 12 units called chache. Chache again divided into further 4 units called kampa. Each kampa divided into 2 parts called ne. This measurement guide is applied up on canvas as horizontal and vertical lines called brahmins. The face sketch within the brahmins. The animal, shoreline, precious articles like royal elephant, carrying horse, an unclear inscription and pattern, jewels, portion of minting, tree branches, leaves, flower, petal, white tara, flowers, Buddha, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, Yamadharma Raja, obscured inscription, Amitabha, Songha, Zaha, figure, Freda are the sketch contents of Thangka. Coloring for sketched object by 6 primary colors: blue, green, red, black, white and yellow, for a different shade and form by mixing of different colors. The rekha, slice edge, and nampo, even, are key factor of coloring. Landscape, plain painting, wet shading, gold application, fine painting or makes rich pictures. After coloring, artist gives detail for fine comprises of intricate work on Thangka. Detailing finally executed. Outline, shade, gold embellished robes, cushion and ornaments. Outline identifies distinct boundary. In outlining, brush, handling, and proper colors use is executed nature of major image. Ram's indigo illustrates smooth, rich, lustrous, shady on plants, water, rocks, clouds, animals, especially on blue, brown, white and brown objects. Gyar chose lac dye, a reddish brown color used for earth objects. Black and red are using generally hair and outline of gold. Dark shading involves the application of paint as a dot or a line with the fine tip light applying shading. Line shading, dot shading or different processes of dark shading. Gold burning is also a major factor of Thangka. Burning creates lustrous effect on objects such as ornaments, offerings, thrones, nimbus border, console, rooftops and background decoration. Outline is different usual outline. Gold line certainly plays a major role in art. Golden lines are dispatch animated appearances. Gold outline is applied based on the characteristic marker and composition of the figure. Gold outline deeply dedicate peaceful painting. Wrathful painting, black Thangka, red Thangka, landscapes, Zakali miniature painting. In a Thangka art, eye opening is important criteria, opening of eyes or final content of Thangka drawing. Different shapes, size, appearances and worthiness of eye involve eye open stage. Eyes are differentiate based on their shapes. Shache, bow-shaped eye for peaceful deity's picture. Nacha, grain-shaped eye for mundane figure such as humans. Shema, tray eyes indicative sign of semi-wrathful figure. Troche, eyes indicatively drawn for wrathful figure. Many artists are painting different categories of figures. In case of Thangka, any modern changes are not whole. People are believed Thangka are reflection of God. Traditional people never accept any changes in Thangka. Thangka art is different from normal art. Thangka consumes a lot of time and patience. Thangka price varies from normal rate to costlier. Depends on size, depth, color used, objects. Rates vary from painting to painting. Commonly, Thangka are ordered by monasteries.
These are all we call a field of merit. These are all a field of merit because through that we have to accumulate more virtues. Because on visualizing Thangkas, so we have to visualize the meaning of the Thangkas. So the meaning of the Thangka, the painting is about the Buddhas. So through that Thangkas, so we have to visualize, we have to meditate the real Buddhas. And also we have to accumulate more virtues.
Artist gets an order from USA, Europe, France, Germany, Japan and Taiwan. The people believe Thangka is holy and represents God. So, people worship Thangka. Thangkas are a strong source of inspiration in the Tibetan way of life for the generations to come.